What is up, everybody? We got a bunch of news to cover today. We got a new sneak peek on the upcoming patch 10.55 or 10.55. We got a video over on YouTube, but today we're going to be going through the summary of what's in store for us coming soon. So let's go. Before we go any further, please go ahead and check out Aptoide if you haven't done so yet. It's going to be allowing you to get yourself massive amounts of bonuses whenever buying anything in Raid Shadow Legends through Aptoide. Right, so just as you are buying a pack normally and regularly, you're going to be able to get a massive bonus that can go from extra 10% of your amount of money you're spending, all the way up to extra 35% of that much money. And the good thing about this whole thing is that once you have enough of the bonuses, you're going to be able to use them to make the payments for you instead of actually using your real money, right? So you are saving up in further purchases in the future. We'll talk more about this whole thing at the end of the video. For now, let's keep going. Let's start it off by talking about the quality of live improvements that are coming to the game. So one that I do find quite interesting is the instant rank up function. Now here, when you go to your tavern and you go to the upgrade rank panel, you are going to be able to filter as well through your champions that are going to be both in the master bolt and in the reserve bolt. Now I am in the live version of the game, so I don't have those filters right there, but they will be down here as shown in the other video on YouTube. That's just going to be, interestingly enough, going to be making your life a little bit easier, just being able to filter through all the stuff that you got there. Probably all the crap you want to be using for food is going to be sitting on those bolts anyway, so you don't have to be sitting here moving stuff back and forth between the bolts and your actual champion slots, right? It's going to just be making things a little bit faster and easier. If you want to join my team in Raid Shadow Legends, click the link in the description to get a free Narma as well as Anax, Uugo, and Mausoleum Mage as you progress through the game. Here's what you need to do. First of all, log out of Platinum Play on PC and uninstall. Then click the link in the description and register a brand new email. Launch Raid and complete the tutorial, and then go to your inbox and claim your first champ. Don't miss out on your chance to get a fresh start in Raid with a free Narma and 3 epic champs. Click on my link right now. In a decently similar manner, you're also going to be able to commission your champions to the faction guardians. And what that means is that, let's just say there is 2 champions that you want to be using for your faction guardians, but you don't really want them taking up slots in your vaults or even in your storage, right? The normal regular champion storage. I do have such a case, for example, here in the Demon Spawn, where I just have way too much of the same characters that are taking up too much space. So what you can do now is, well, not yet in the live game, but there is going to be a button right here, which is going to be, say, commission. What that means is that that slot in the Faction Guardians is going to be saved and completed forever, and these 2 champions are going to be consumed. They're going to be going away as if you were using them for actually empowering your champions. They're going to be consumed, and both of them are going to be disappearing from your slots. So you're freeing up away some space in your champion slots, like in the champion bolts and stuff, and therefore you're just being able to run away and control your bolts and your slots a little bit more at ease. Something else they're adding, and which I really find very helpful, it is a reset for your advanced quests every day. So let's say that day, for whatever reason, there is one quest that you are really unable to finish up for whatever the reason might be. There is going to be a button down here at the bottom, which is going to be allowing you to reset all the unfinished quests, meaning that you will be able to just get random new ones, and whether or not you want the rewards from those or not, you're just going to be able to get a new set of quests, which you might actually be able to finish. So you are just going to be able to have an easier time finishing them all up and getting access to another extra refill or whatever else. There is also a clan quest that they are going to be nerfing, which I find quite interesting. They really showcase this, but there is an elite quest which requires you to defeat 150 turns on the Chimera, which, by the way, they are nerfing, and we'll get into that in a moment. But I don't know if it's up even today this week. But anyways, instead of being 150 turns in the Chimera, it's now going to be only 100 turns. So yeah, that's that. They are also adding a very interesting thing, which is the battle information for all bosses, both clan bosses as well as, well, I don't think like it's particularly going to be clan bosses mainly. It is that whenever you actually finish up fighting any level, right, you're going to be immediately told whether or not you actually achieved the max level for the chests, right? So, well, not the max level, but whatever level of the chest you already got, it's going to be marked with a tick as well as surrounded by a yellow glow, meaning that you will both be able to see that from the after the fight panel, where you see all the summary for your damage and all the things you did, but also I do believe at here you will also be able to see with the check that that is done. You don't need to be running anything else, instead of like having to actually calculate how much damage did I do, or even just scrolling down here. For example, I do have to do this sometimes where I see this much damage and then I go to Nightmare, go all the way down here. Okay, it's enough. It's not enough, right? That is not going to be done for you. There is also the new fusion champions, as well as all these 3 other guys which are going to be added to the champion pool, and well, they will be available most likely on future random extra chances of dropping them events, as we had for Gregor Strandrake really recently with the Protector summoning pool. Those will probably be including some of those. We don't know anything about these champions just yet, I do believe, but those are 3 new champions coming soon. Moving on to the Chimera, they're doing a big bunch of changes to it. First of all, they are nerfing the Ram form, where it's going to be doing less reflect damage when under fear buffs, right? So you're going to be encouraged to switch around your teams if you're having trouble with that particular stage or just a point in the fight. Now, there is also a passive, and I don't have any footage here for you, but there is also a passive for the Ram form, where whenever a turn is skipped with a True Fear or a Fear debuff, the Chimera is going to be getting a big bunch of turn meter. Now, that is being nerfed down from 50% turn meter when that happens to 25% only. They are also buffing the Ram's accuracy for whatever reason, meaning that you're going to be getting more debuffs applied to you or just more resistance requirements to get by. Now, the Lion form instead is actually getting a buff. They are going to be increasing its base damage as well as giving it a guaranteed AoE attack. I'm not too sure exactly on which one of his already abilities which exist, but it's just going to be a little bit more menacing altogether. And they're also saying that the second hit for Atomizing Roar, it's going to be ignoring defense, meaning a little bit more single target damage. Now, most of the changes they focused on this preview for the patch come for Siege. Now, Siege is a system that I've just very recently been able to get into, and I also want to be taking a little bit of a tangent here, talking about the Siege system and PvP in particular, because I'm a newer player. You might guys know I don't have the most power in my account, right? As you can see, my champions are not the greatest. I'm just getting by and starting to learn a lot of stuff and getting new champions and being able to complete my roster, but I've come to enjoy PvP a fair bit. It is just really hard to actually progress through it and actually profoundly get into the depths of it, right? And Siege is one of those systems where I find it really hard to even participate because the rewards for it are great. As soon as I learned what you can actually get from it, man, it is insane. I don't even know if I can show you guys because the event is... Okay, there we go, right? So we fought these guys and we won, and I got so many resources for it, man. Look at all this gear we got. Look at all that stuff. We actually managed to actually, you know, defeat these guys, and the rewards for it are insane. I'm a newer player. I only took part in one fight, and I got all these pieces of gear, which are already 6-star legendary. The sets that I'm getting from it are actually very good. In general, I find it very rewarding. You also get shards for a champion that I didn't even know came from this. And let me real quick just show you, because you probably already guys know, but Lamasu, I didn't even know this champion existed, and I just found out you get 10 shards per win at the point that I am, at least with my clan on the sieges, right? So I really want to be profoundly getting into this system more, but it is really hard because you are going to be needing to be able to compete with teams that are just so far out of your reach. Depending on the clan you are on, of course, you will be facing versus other clans which are going to be in a certain tier, and therefore, well, me being a newer player with a team that's barely able to go back, look, you could look at that. That's my best team that I can assemble, sort of like 200k power, and it's not even great PvP characters at all. So yeah, I mean, I just wish there was ways to really be able to get more in a similar level with other players, especially in PvP. If you are trying to be competitive, this is probably not supposed to be that kind of system. That's mainly more like live arena and stuff like that. But damn, it just feels kind of sad, right? So they're going to be doing a lot of changes to the Siege system in particular. So first of all, they're going to be adding extra levels to all the buildings, right? All the buildings can now go all the way up to level 6. So for example, right now my stronghold is maxed out at level 3, and I don't even know if I think that's like, yeah, that's maxed out level already, right? I'm not a leader in this clan or any means like that, so I cannot actually access all those panels and stuff. But anyways, it's going to be able to go all the way up to level 6, which means there are going to be more rewards involved. We are going to be getting more mana orbs if we manage to defeat those fights in particular. There is also going to be more florins to be gained out of those battles as things are going to be leveling up. There's going to be more slots in certain specific structures, right? So we have different kinds of structures. We're going to be having our, what you call it, the garrisons over here. If that's not the, yeah, I'm kind of mistaken it. Anyways, anyways, it's like the blue and the green buildings that I mean, they're gonna be getting extra slots, so we're gonna be able to have bigger battles where more people can participate. You're gonna be able to spread out more teams in between all the buildings, as you yourself can put out separate teams. You can a max of 3 actually all over the place. Anyways, the system is getting more depth to it. Talking about depth, they're also going to be adding traps, right? And we already have the affix system where you can go ahead and select a certain restriction to the fight where things are going to be a little bit different depending on what you're going to be spending. So I could choose to use some of my mana orbs if I was, like, let's just say I go to where I am currently sitting at, right? So I could choose to use some of the mana orbs that I don't have at the moment to add certain conditions to the fight, meaning that maybe the enemy is only going to be able to use certain kinds of champions, or there's going to be a debuff going on. Well, that system is going to be expanded on. It's going to be called traps. It's going to be making the fight a little bit harder overall for the enemy, but the traps are only going to be able to be triggered once, right, per fight. So let's say I'm going to be able to set up a trap on this tower in particular. I want to be setting that up, and whatever the enemy is going to be attacking it, it is going to be facing the difficulty or the added difficulty of that trap being live. The traps could be something like you cannot see one of the champions in the defending team. So you're going to be, I cannot show you because this is not the live patch, but you're going to be a little bit more ignorant towards what you're actually facing, and therefore, well, you are at a big disadvantage. But the trap's going to be actually triggered once, meaning that you could potentially sync up with your team and make it so that, well, you're going to be sending in somebody with a weak team composition to actually fight that, or take the fight, just in the off chances you actually win. But in any case, if you don't, you're going to be triggering the trap, meaning that the next time you attack, that's going to be a lot easier. So they are developing the whole system to have more potential of coordinating with your entire clan, maybe going into a Discord call or probably just in the Discord server, talking about the strategies, what you're going to be doing, and talking about agency. They're going to be adding more ways for the actual leaders of the clan to be able to control what's going on, just in case people log in, drop their defenses or whatever, they go AFK and they don't play for a day, 2 days, whatever, they just disappear. They're going to be able to go ahead and switch around teams in the different buildings. You're also going to be able to put traps, switch traps, remove things, have access to basically everything. If you are somebody in charge of your clan at that level, you're going to be able to control the things a lot more, so that you don't depend on the kindness of the people to actually follow along with what you're saying and just follow up instructions. There is also going to be a max amount of traps you can set up, so it's not like there's going to be traps everywhere and therefore attacking is just going to be insane. Everybody's going to be missing and losing and stuff like that. There is going to be more strategy to it, where you want to be defending key points depending also on the level of the structure. Is going to be able to hold more or less traps. In any case, there is going to be another change, which is going to be adding extra ranks, actually, per se, for your actual clans. So for example, let's just say we are right now on tier 5 and that is the max. Well, after the changes, we're going to be able to go all the way up to tier 8, and leveling up from tier to tier, it's not just going to be a matter of your points. There is going to be extra affixes, so to be called. We're also getting new tiers added to the siege system, where you're going to be able to not just go to level 6, which is what we are at the moment, but also way beyond that as you accumulate enough of the minimum amount of ranking points. As you can see right here, it is 2.1k to be able to go to tier 6. Well, it will be a total of 5,000 to be able to go to tier 7, and moreover than that, you're also going to be needed to win the previous siege in order to rank up, as well as at least have 30 battles done, right? And that is going to be a little bit of added difficulty if you fail to complete any of these actually requirements. You're going to be demoted to the previous rank, so it's going to be a little bit like platinum in classic arena, let's just say. Unless you are like the top of the top, you will be going down eventually. And in these tiers, of course, there is going to be better rewards. As you can see right here, we have mythical accessories and quite a few of those, as well as a lot of relics, more shards for the champion we already talked about, a full-on primal shard. The rewards from Siege are insane, and if you're not really playing them, you should definitely be getting into them as soon as possible. If you've made it all the way up to the end of the video, I really encourage you to check out Aptoide. It's going to be allowing you to get yourself bonuses whenever buying anything in Raid Shadow Legends through Aptoide. Those bonuses can go from extra 10% of any amount of money you're spending in the game, all the way up to extra 35% of that much money. And the good thing about the bonuses is that you can then go ahead and use them to buy the things for you instead of actually using your real money. So you're just going to be able to save up in further purchases as you are buying things that you would otherwise be buying anyways in the game, right? You can find out how to set it up on your Android devices like a PC and BlueStacks emulator, or just your Android phone, very easily by following the link down there in the description. And if you go ahead and use my code, which is going to be somewhere up here in the screen, and input it into the Aptoide wallet, which again will be all explained about how to set it up down there in that link, then you're going to be able to get an even bigger bonus from the get-go, flat 5% bonus for literally ever. Just put it in there, and here in the wallet you will also be able to see your purchase history as well as how much bonus you currently have accumulated. So that's literally it, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. Like, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye bye. See ya.